The moment that wedding ended, everything changed. Because while everyone was focused on Benedict finally getting his happy ending, the real question quietly started growing in the background. Who is next? And more importantly, what if the next love story is not what anyone is expecting? Because hidden inside the final moments of Bridgerton Season 4, there were clues, small details, emotional moments, and one shocking twist that most people completely missed. A death that changed the future. A love that was never supposed to happen. And a secret that could destroy everything. This is where the real story begins. As Season 4 came to an end, the spotlight was clearly on Benedict, his journey, his struggles, and finally his love story reached a satisfying conclusion. The wedding felt like a perfect closing moment. Calm, beautiful, and full of emotion. But if you looked closely, it didn't feel like an ending at all. It felt like the start of something much bigger. Because while one story ended, another one was quietly being set up in the background. And that story feels far more complicated. Season 4 was not just about love. It was about loss, hidden feelings, and choices that people were too afraid to admit out loud. One of the biggest moments that changed everything was the death of Lord John Sterling. This was not just a sad event. It was a turning point. His death didn't just affect one character. It created emotional space for something new to grow, something unexpected. Francesca's story suddenly became deeper, heavier, and more emotional. Before this, her life seemed calm, almost simple compared to the chaos around other Bridgerton. But now, everything has changed. She is no longer just a quiet character in the background. She is standing at the center of a story that is filled with pain, confusion, and possibly a new kind of love. And that's where things start to get interesting. Because during the season, there were small moments that hinted at something more. Moments that didn't seem important at first. A look, a pause, a feeling that wasn't fully explained. And all of these moments were connected to one person. Michaela. At first, her presence didn't seem too important, but slowly, it became clear that there was something deeper going on. The way she looked at Francesca, the way she spoke, the way she held back her emotions, it didn't feel normal. It felt like she was hiding something, and by the end of the season, it becomes almost impossible to ignore. There is love there, but it's not simple. It's not easy, and it's definitely not something society would accept easily. This is what makes this story so powerful. It's not just about two people falling in love. It's about feelings that are complicated, forbidden, and filled with guilt, especially because of what happened to John. His death doesn't just create an opportunity, it creates a problem. Because how do you move forward when your heart starts to feel something new so soon after losing someone? That emotional conflict is what will drive the next season forward. And this is exactly why many believe that Francesca could be the next lead. Her story already has everything needed: love, loss, tension, and a future that feels uncertain. Compared to that, other characters are only just beginning their journeys. Take Eloise for example. Her story is slowly changing, but she is still at the stage where she is trying to understand her own feelings. She has spent so much time rejecting the idea of love, and now, she is only just starting to question that belief. That kind of story needs more time to grow. Francesca's story, on the other hand, is ready. It has already started, and it's already emotional. But here's where things take another unexpected turn. If you think you know how this story will play out, you might be wrong. Because if we look at the original story from the books, things were very different. The character of Michaela was originally Michael, and the storyline followed a more traditional path. After John's death, Michael struggled with guilt, left for years, and then eventually returned. Over time, love grew between him and Francesca, and they built a life together. But the show is clearly not following that same path anymore, and that changes everything. Because now, the story is not just about love after loss. It's about identity, society, and the struggle to be true to yourself in a world that doesn't allow it. Michaela's character already hinted at this during the season. There were moments where she spoke about not being able to love freely, about feeling restricted, about hiding who she really is. And that adds a completely new layer to the story. Now the question is not just will they fall in love. The real question is, will they even be allowed to? This is what makes Season 5 feel different from everything we've seen before. It's not just another romantic story. It's something deeper, something more emotional, something that could change the tone of the entire series. And the most interesting part, all of this was quietly set up, without making it obvious. Most viewers were focused on the main story, the romance, the drama, the big moments. But hidden underneath all of that was a completely different story slowly building in the background. A story that is now ready to take over. And if this really is the direction the show is going in, then Season 5 might not just be another chapter, it might be the most emotional and unexpected season yet. The biggest question on every Bridgerton fan's mind is clear. Who will take the spotlight in Season 5? After the wedding bells faded for Benedict, the story needed a new center. And now, the stage is set for the next major love story. But the mystery remains, will it be Francesca, Eloise, or perhaps even someone else entirely? At first glance, the answer seems simple. Both Francesca and Eloise have been confirmed as upcoming leads in the next 2 seasons. But the order, that's the puzzle. And puzzles are exactly what make this so exciting. Fans have been debating for months. Who will be first, and how will the story unfold? The answer isn't just a matter of preference, it's about who has the story ready to explode, emotionally and dramatically. Looking at Francesca, it's hard to ignore the groundwork already laid in Season 4. Her character is rich, complex, and layered with emotion. The audience has seen her navigate grief, love, and societal expectation. She has faced loss with John Sterling's death, and now the shadow of guilt and new love looms over her heart. Every look she shares with Michaela, every pause before she speaks, every restrained emotion, all hints at a deep, developing story. This isn't just romance. It's tension, emotion, and complexity wrapped together. Eloise, on the other hand, has only recently started her journey into understanding love. Her skepticism and strong independence make her story interesting. Yes, but she is still in the discovery phase. She's questioning herself, her desires, and whether she even wants the traditional idea of love. Her narrative is just starting to bloom, and that means her time in the spotlight is probably coming slightly later. In contrast, Francesca's story is already burning with unresolved emotion, hidden love, and moral complexity. There's also an important factor to consider. The show isn't strictly following the books anymore. In the novels, the 5th Bridgerton story centers on Eloise, but the showrunners have already shown that the sequence of the books isn't necessarily sacred. Season 3 and Season 4 shifted away from the book order, highlighting the story that worked best for television drama rather than strictly adhering to the novels. This means that while Eloise's book story comes next, Francesca's emotional arc on screen might make her the better choice to lead the narrative first. One of the reasons Francesca's story might take the forefront is the emotional depth of her relationship with Michaela. In the books, Michael's feelings for Francesca were revealed after John's death, creating tension and guilt. The show has already mirrored this arc, but with a twist. Michaela, a woman, navigating feelings that are socially complicated and personally conflicted. Her emotional struggle is palpable. She desires love but fears the consequences. Francesca, meanwhile, is caught between her past with John and a new potential love, making her journey both relatable and dramatic. The tension here is electric, and the show thrives on tension. Furthermore, there's a narrative payoff waiting to happen. Season 4 hinted at Francesca's growing awareness of her desires and her own limitations in expressing love publicly. John's death removed one obstacle, but new ones remain. Society, morality, and hidden feelings for Michaela all create layers that the show can explore deeply. For a television audience, that's compelling storytelling. Eloise's story, in contrast, will require more setup to reach the same intensity. Her internal struggle with love and independence is subtle and will likely take time to unfold fully. Another reason Francesca could lead is dramatic continuity. The show has spent considerable time developing her arc already, while Eloise's romantic arc has been more dormant. By giving Francesca the next season, the creators can maintain momentum and audience investment. Viewers are already emotionally attached to her, so starting with her story ensures immediate engagement. Starting with Eloise might require a slower build, which could risk losing viewers' attention early in the season.